Scout Officer Zixtal of the Galactic Hegemony Observation Vessel Silent Observer finished encoding his report with trembling appendages. After 3 solar cycles, orbiting the unassuming blue-green planet designated Sol 3, he had finally gathered enough evidence to confirm his suspicions. The primitive species known as humans were not what they appeared to be. "Are you certain about these conclusions, Scout Officer?" First Observer Carlith asked, her bioluminescent markings pulsing with skepticism as she reviewed the data. The Hegemony Assessment Bureau has classified humans as a pre-contact species, barely capable of reaching their own satellites. Zixtal's eyes stalks quivered with conviction. "The official assessment is wrong, First Observer. Look at these energy readings." The holographic display showed a series of anomalous energy signatures emanating from beneath the surface of the landmass the humans called Antarctica. "This cannot be natural," Zixtal continued, "and it certainly isn't consistent with their displayed level of technology." First Observer Carlith contemplated the data. The Hegemony's standard procedure was clear: identify promising species, assess their technological development, and when ready, initiate first contact. Humans had been categorized as at least 3 centuries away from such readiness. "There's more," Zixtal said, pulling up another display. Their global communication network, they call it the Internet, contains vast amounts of theoretical physics far beyond their supposed capabilities. Many are disguised as what they term science fiction, but the principles described are often exact matches for technologies used by the advanced members of the Hegemony. Carlith's skepticism began to waver. Perhaps they're more intellectually advanced than our initial assessment indicated. "That's not all," Zixtal continued. "Observe their space program." The display shifted to show primitive human rockets and a small orbital platform they called the International Space Station. "Notice anything unusual?" he asked. Carlith studied the images. "They appear consistent with a Level 2 civilization." "Exactly," Zixtal said. "Too consistent. For 70 Earth years, they've maintained the same basic technology with only incremental improvements. No species develops that slowly once they've achieved orbit. It's as if," he hesitated, knowing how outlandish his theory would sound, "as if they're deliberately presenting an image of technological stagnation." The command deck fell silent. "But why would they do such a thing?" Carlith finally asked. "I believe they know they're being watched," Zixtal replied quietly. "During our observation, I detected multiple instances where our cloaking field was almost scanned by Earth-based systems. Systems that suddenly powered down whenever we adjusted our sensors to examine them more closely." Carlith's markings flashed with alarm. "If they can detect our presence, despite our cloaking technology, then they're far more advanced than they appear," Zixtal finished. The evidence was compelling. The strange energy signatures, the theoretical knowledge hidden in plain sight, the suspiciously stagnant space program, the near detections of their cloaking field. "We need to report this to the Hegemony Council immediately," Carlith decided. All contact plans must be reconsidered. As they prepared the transmission, a new alert appeared on their sensor display. A small human spacecraft had launched from Earth, ostensibly to service a satellite. But its trajectory was changing, bringing it directly toward the silent observer's position. "Impossible," Carlith whispered. "Our cloaking field is active." The human vessel continued its approach, its design suddenly morphing from a primitive service craft into something sleeker, more advanced, with propulsion systems unlike anything in their database. "They've known we're here all along," Zixtal realized with mounting horror. This was a trap. Their communication systems activated without command. A transmission from the approaching human vessel filled their displays. A human figure appeared bipedal, soft-skinned, dressed in a simple gray uniform without insignia or markings. "Greetings, observers," The human said in perfect hegemony standard language. "We've been expecting your report. For centuries, we've watched the watchers, learning your languages, your technologies, your intentions. The time for pretense is over." The human smiled, a gesture that hegemony xenobiologists had classified as friendly, but now seemed predatory to Zixtal. "The hegemony believes it decides when species are ready for contact," the human continued. "We decided long ago that the galaxy wasn't ready for us. But now that you've discovered our little secret, perhaps it's time for a proper introduction." As the transmission ended, thousands of advanced human vessels began emerging from hiding places throughout the solar system, from behind moons, within gas giant atmospheres, and from beneath the surfaces of asteroids. They had been hiding in plain sight all along, and the hegemony's first contact had been anticipated for centuries. Zixtal's final report to Hegemony Command contained just one line: "The humans are not what they appear to be, and they've been waiting for us."